People misunderstand networking so much. I'm such a proponent of networking.
Mhm.
And I say to people, look, if you wanted to learn how to fish and you went to a group of fishermen, what are you going to talk about? You're going to talk about fishing and learn how to do it. Well, when you go to networking events, understand the one thing everybody at that networking event has in common is an interest in networking. So talk to them about networking. You can
Yes.
talk to them about, hey, I met you at a networking group. I'm going to a new one. You want to come with me? That's how you start to build a relationship and build friendships in commerce. So you start with, what do you have in common? So that's one thing that's important to me. And we found that the networking events we put on with Meetup are the most successful ones. They're the biggest draws. So one question I have about you is how can we help cross-pollinate groups through cross-group networking so that, you're not just talking to the choir all the time, but you're constantly bringing in new people and growing your group by introducing other like-minded groups and building friendships and commerce of people that have those things in common.
My belief is a couple of ways. So number one, how we can more effectively support organizer groups in a way that is also not going to be overly costly for us to pursue. At one point, we built an organizer network, and the internal cost of that organizer network was $3 million. We ended up shutting that down because it just was way more expensive and we couldn't afford it anymore. But there's lighter ways that we could help to facilitate organizers meeting each other. So that's thought one. The second is, I imagine a world where we create a marketplace or an ecosystem where it's easy for an organizer to interact with and contact another organizer about a topic of mutual interest. So for example, if there's a networking group in some location, a networking group in another location, and they want to share best practices around networking, or they want to introduce people to each other from those areas, we need to make it really easy for an organizer to be able to contact another organizer around a shared area of interest. So imagine if there's kind of like a checkbox and there's a list of, think kind of LinkedIn, how people are endorsed on LinkedIn for different skills. And there's a checkbox of different things that people say, this is something I'm interested in learning more about. This is something I'm interested in building relationships with people. And then we could then easily be a matching service where we say, here's the Uber group of people, everyone who's interested in broadcast, television, best practices, or whatever the case may be. But we need to create the list of topical areas of interest. This is a group of people who are really interested in sharing SEO best practices with each other. We need to create the list of topical areas, and then we just need to reach out to organizers and say, hey, do you want to be part of a larger group that's cross-location and only organizers allowed in this specific topic? And we could facilitate that. What are your thoughts about that?
You can do so much with Zoom to connect people together. It's lightweight, it's global, it's fast, it's simple, and it's even mainstream. They even advertise it on radio here. It's just so pedestrian. So it's lightweight, easy to use. I was a huge fan of Anthony Bourdain. I love that whole gig of him going out and reporting on things. I've actually thought of using my video capability, becoming like a combination of the Anthony Bourdain of networking and who uses a nice positive evaluation. So just sharing ideas, what worked or what didn't.
Do you think that it's better to create an idea sharing platform between organizers, again, only organizers allowed, or co-organizers or people maybe on the management group of the Meetup team, an idea exchange type and / networking capability between organizers? That's one. And or creating a marketplace of different vendors and or services that we could provide to organizers to ultimately help them. So for example, like you could help a lot of organizers be better networkers. Should we go to our organizers and say, hey, Mike is someone that can help you to become a better networker. Here's a specific, here's a package that he could provide to you. What do you think about us providing a list of curated, specialized people who could enable organizers to be more successful in organizing?
It's a proven successful model. For example, Fiverr.com hired me because they had a very scattered community, and they hired me as a community organizer, and I organized a community for them of 10,000 independent contractors here in the Bay Area.
Wow.
And they gave me a really, really cool video testimonial. Thank you for everything I did for them. So there's a marketplace example. Google has a marketplace. So a lot of different companies have a marketplace. And now Fiverr, but now they have Fiverr Pro, and can become a vetted, rated provider and supporter. Because the problem is it's so difficult for entrepreneurs and small business owners
to find out.
Know what's real and what's not.
Exactly.
What's not real. There's so much BS online today. It's crazy.
Yeah. Would you be able to share the video with me that Fiverr had sent to you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one. The second is I'd love to get a list, 2, 3, or 4 ways to help meetup organizers, ways in which you can help them. And then what I want to do is in figuring out how to create kind of an MVP services offering that we would include you from for the mastermind group around. A good comparison is that the reason why Apple succeeds is because of the group of developers who build apps in support of iOS. So Meetup has a group of people like yourself who enable Meetup success through the work that you do. However, we don't have any real relationship. We're not helping to really drive and enable your success. Imagine if we really did more to help and enable your success. That would ultimately increase the benefit, the success of Meetup.
I totally agree. I'm also a Google My Business partner. I'm a partner of Google for local events and how to use Meetup to promote your Google My Business.
Amazing. Yeah. So if you could send me the list of here's the 3 things that I think I'm awesome in, and a lot of people will be interested. How to use Meetup to promote your events on Google. That's what the 2, 3, 4 different areas are, because then we could even make you available for webinars to organizers, and that could be lead gen to help you grow your business, and that could help Meetup. So I think there's a whole host of different things that we could do.
Good. I can do that. I can also bring in Google experts into webinars as a Google partner.
Man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Exactly. So I can put on meetups and Zoom meetings. The other thing I will send you is, speaking of the gig economy, I'll send you a 60-second soundbite from my radio syndicator, because in the new economy, I started a radio show called New Money Radio. And it's all about how do you make money in the new economy? How can you earn money today? How do you bring in new money into your life? And so we're syndicated on about 500 AM, FM radio stations across the U.S. I'm talking about ABC, NBC, Fox, affiliates, and Armed Forces Radio Worldwide, company I helped co-found 30 years ago. And we have 9 radio broadcast studios at Broadway in San Francisco for podcasts, etc.
I would love to see that.
Soundbite about, and it's a video about where all the radio show is syndicated as well. So those are probably the top 3 things that I would stay focused on.
Perfect. I love it. And listen, I think there's a great partnership ahead. You do take people off of what they're doing at Meetup right now and put them onto this as a project, or else it won't get done. It can't be me running around talking to people. It needs to be like an owner of this, and to really run with it and make this a successful project.
So as a spokesperson and a speaker, I travel all over the country for a company called Learning Annex, spoke all over. So I can also speak and be a PR spokesperson.
I love it. And I love that you're wearing the t-shirt during our call. That's so cool.
People see me as one guy, but inside I'm a 20-year-old guy who, I took one client from 0 to $200 million in sales, starting from scratch after he'd failed twice on his own, just by changing his elevator pitch. We changed the words, and it was a rocket. So I've been there, done that. I've been to the top of the mountain. I know how to get there, and I'm just a natural enthusiast. I just love what I do.
I love it. You're the man.